Hey everybody, I have such a great guest today, and I'm really excited to have her. Lynn Herring is here. I think you're in the Nurses Ball 2025. I'm thinking that.
What is it because
I
of the
think it's
sign
a sign.
behind? No attention. I just happened to sit in front of this. It means nothing.
Wandered in.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
are you? It's really nice to see you. It
Thank
really
you.
is.
It's nice to see you too,
And
truly.
I wanted to say, here we are at a Nurses Ball again. And I wanted to first, before we go backward, what do you think about the Sidwell Lucy pairing and that she went him to underwrite the ball? Does she know what she's doing, or she's completely unaware this guy is kind of like
You know,
bad news?
there he is. He's very bad news. Look at him. He's actually so much fun to work with. That's my problem right now is we had scenes today and we were laughing about we have no idea where this is going because I'm so bad. He kept saying as Sidwell. And I thought, though, we have so much fun and chemistry without meaning to that we're creating this vortex that may go nowhere, but we really enjoy each other. He's a lot of fun to work with. I think secretly Lucy has gotten a little more savvy than sometimes she acts. I mean, her silliness is definitely a cover. Sometimes it's real and she needs to still grow up, but sometimes she kind of knows what she's getting herself into, but the end result is worth it. And she got the nurse's ball underwritten.
Right. And I think that's what I think, Lucy, because back in the day, she was a real schemer. Right.
Right. Exactly. And a con recognizes usually another con. So
Right. Right. So sometimes she plays dumb, but do you think she would romantically want to be more involved with this man?
I don't know. I've been thinking about her being alone, which is a long stretch for Lucy. Obviously, Kevin Collins was her true love and made her grow up and be adult. And then Martin was fascinating because it was that same kind of titillation, of like minds. I don't think he really could have put up with her for much longer. So I get that, and Scotty will always be her con in her heart. But I think right now she's just trying to grow as a businesswoman and get some sort of social respect. She's so desperate to be liked by the community, so desperate, and it shows through her idiot things she does. But I think at some point she's going to realize she's alone, and that's when it'll get interesting, I think.
Well, of course, it is always such a delight. When it's the nurses' ball and you're center stage,
Oh,
and
thank
it's all the dresses. This is just a dress I found, not that it was one of my all-time
you.
favorites.
No, I love it. I love it.
I found dresses, this the dresses, it's the whole thing. It's her excitement, it's her wanting to make it work. And it's in the end, though, she had a good heart about it. And back in 1994, and I love you mentioned this to Sidwell, you
Yeah.
brought with the cards. It was Lee Mathis and you, was John Hanley and you. What would you remember back in 1994 when you first heard that they were going to tackle this nurses' ball and you were going to be at the epicenter of it?
I think the first thing I did was cry because our show had been impacted, and the whole business, the industry had, and across the world, obviously, the United States, a lot of the creative community. And I was so proud. I just remember thinking, this is a gift and it's meant to be that we can communicate what this is doing to our country. And I just remember being completely overwhelmed and also pressurized because that started, I think, the whole effort by Lucy to make it right and to do it right. And that's a tricky thing. We don't always get it right. And sometimes, the numbers may be off base. Sometimes you don't love the dress, sometimes the interactions, but the heart of it is always, and the continuity and history is always true. And we try to represent that.
Mm-hmm. Is this a big undertaking for you as an actress to do this, or is this like the most fun you have, or is it just like so much packed in? Is it overwhelming to do them as you to like go through it, or is it just like, I love this, I don't care?
I think when we had to do it over many days, we've gotten very good at doing it better and quicker. And with our budget, of course, we're constrained because of the times we live in. So the pressure is so different now. Now I just want to do it well. I want to do it quickly to help the crew get through it all because they have to bear with us all. But back then I was overwhelmed. The amount of pressure I felt just trying to make sure that everybody was enjoying their experience. I think I took on too much sometimes. And there was a lot more dialogue back in the day. And it was just the real idea that we're doing something of service. I think I pressurized myself too much sometimes.
Right. I could feel that. Now, over the years, Lucy's had some nemesis.
Say that word 10 times.
And one of them, I'll never forget, was the late Richard Simmons and you. And I just remember this, and I know he passed away since we've last had the Nurses Ball. What do you remember about the Richard, like that story with Richard and Lucy? Was it fun to work with him in that, or what was that?
Lucy generates like an energy that I think sometimes can combust too much. She's very manic and hyper. Richard Simmons would be Lucy's energy on steroids 10 times. He comes to work, though, with the same joy of wanting to entertain, and he wants people to feel his love and acceptance and warmth. And that's the first thing you see. He walks on and here's maybe 100 people on the stage. He's really looking at each and every one of us and sending out these sparks. And I just admired him so much because whatever he was going through, he would put that aside and want to be a true performer and really engage with all of us. And we spent several days together, obviously, and he would come in my dressing room and just kind of collapse and be himself and just be tired and funny and kind. And then the last day, he had this beautiful jeweled dress that he had gotten at an auction or an art house, and he gave it to me, and I have it at home, of course. And it was such a gift of love that we spent this time together. And I told him, Richard, but you give yourself. I don't need a gift. But I will keep that and treasure it because it just represents everything he gave everybody. He was so special. And it was so fun because he would try to get so mad at Lucy and we would be, doing our nemesis stuff. Yeah. And then we would crack up. So we did have to do several takes occasionally.
Do you have favorite moments where during the Nurses Ball over the years, or is there something coming up that that we'll like, but without spoiling it, where you've been there and watched it unfold and we're just like, this is so great, whether it was a emotional moment or a musical number or something that just you as Lynn thought, oh, that was just amazing or touching.
There's like thousands of those. It's like, because the quilt and the honor of having the weight of communicating to America, no other shows were talking about AIDS and HIV. That will always be magical and like a gift of service for me. But the best is after I've introduced and I get to go sit backstage and look out at all my friends and the cast and the crew. And a lot of the crew are busting, their whatevers hour after hour. And that quiet moment of seeing them, I'm just in awe always. And I think people don't realize that them entertaining us, trying to entertain you, this magic happens. And I just think that's so important. And this year there are some drama moments that are so good that I think the folks are going to get a big kick out of yelling at their TV.
Are we going to yell at Lucy or be happy with her?
I think both. There'll be a lot going on. There'll be a lot of yelling, some clapping, maybe some crying, but a lot of yelling.
And clothes on or off? She'll keep her clothes on?
Pretty much. I think.
Is that over with now?
I think so. I think what's kind of nice is they've allowed Lucy to grow too, and that trying to keep an honor about the ball for her, because it means so much to her to keep this going. Because like I say, AIDS and HIV isn't in your face anymore, but it was like our pandemic. It was so huge for all of us that I love that they haven't given up on it, because globally it's still a very impactful disease, so that we keep doing the history. I think maybe it's time to just honor that more than nakedness.
I think so too. And I was going to say the dresses, which you've talked about all the time. How does that work? Did they say, here's some dresses? You look at them and go, I think this will look, first of all, you can wear anything. So there's that. There's that. Like, seriously. But do they give you a rack and say, this is what we want to do? What do you think?
Well, Sean Reeves now, and then Bob Miller before. Bob would design them. And so a lot of times I never got to say, Bob, my whole back is out and my stomach. But I had to go with his designs, and they were so magical. So I never said anything. And then Sean has found a way on a budget. You have to remember that our budgets are so different. He finds the most beautiful fabrics, and he knows me so well that we both will look in the mirror. He brings a rack and he'll put them on and he goes, oh no, Lynn. I go, oh no, Sean, that's bad. I don't think we've ever disagreed where, we didn't see it right away in the mirror and go, that is not going to
So
work.
you guys will go, no.
Yeah,
You're like, "We're not."
definitely. Oh, big time. Or the best was this year, he surprised me. There was a yes dress, and we both went, this is nice. And it was just kind of subtle. Well, he added a whole full thing in the back that day. So I put it on. I thought, what? And you'll see, it's amazing. There's this whole bustle and beautiful train. I never saw coming, but he added it. It's so beautiful.
What does the cast say when you guys are there? I know they're long days, right? So is it fun, or is everybody grumpy? Are they like do they help you along? Are they like,
I think you've met a lot of us, so you know which ones might be a little grumpy.
right?
And you'd know the ones, but most times everybody rallies. When someone's doing a number, it's true applause that we're giving the people up there. We're supporting them. But like I say, you should put a mic under every table and hear all those conversations, because we're getting to know each other, people that don't work together. And literally, Josh Kelly stopped me in the hall. He said, this is the most fun I've had. It's like summer camp, and it's like doing summer theater, and I'm getting to know everybody. And he's just rallying the troops. So there's so much positivity that even though we go, what time is it? It's so entertaining to each of us to watch everybody else's table and see what they're doing and what they're talking about. So fly on the wall would be well worth it.
Wow, that's actually a great idea. Like a hot mic under the
Exactly.
table.
Oh boy, we get in so much trouble.
When you found out they were bringing the bell back this year, because there wasn't one the year before, were you excited, or were you like, how did you feel about it at that point?
I'm an audience member too. I get it that it's been done, of course.
Of course.
We've done it a long time. I know we have constraints budget-wise, but if they could feel the positivity of it and know that we're doing it out of love of honoring tradition, and honoring that this is a disease that we don't want to forget. And if it represents other maladies that help people, there's a true message. So I think all the negativity would dissipate if they could see that we do this with love. It's such a gift of love to all of them, and just to honor what General Hospital has done over the years.
I was so touched, and I think this is great. Your son, Hank.
Yes, there he is.
There he is. It's going to be on Days of Our Lives. And I know we're going to see him in the fall. And I just thought that was so amazing and so full circle.
A magical journey that we've been on. He found out on his own birthday. Wayne passed in November. And it has been a gift from the folks at Days and his dad. And he just really believes his dad's watching over everything he does. He feels a lot of pressure because he's heard so many stories about Wayne's pranks and all the bad things his dad did.
Wayne. Everybody talks about Wayne's pranks.
He was so bad. I mean, he locked people in their dressing rooms when they had to be on stage. He was, and I kept telling Hank, don't be like your dad. But the way they've embraced him, and Jim Reynolds, they didn't tell that he was going to be, and he broke down, and Hank broke down, and they still, 10 shows in, they're still crying and hugging every time they, but from the makeup and the crew that all remember him, and Janet, the EP.
Of course.
He feels like he's home. It's the best magical time.
That is so amazing, and I'm so looking forward to when it airs. I know they tape so far ahead.
Try being the mom. The mom wants to see what the heck's going on.
Did he take any photos for you to kind of show you, even though?
Yeah, Jim did, and that was so sweet. And then Deidre Hall was so nice and took some that I could at least kind of get an idea of what he looks, like. And his character is very interesting because it's complicated, and I think they've changed it a little as they've gone. And he just gets so excited. And we had a nurses' ball day and a Days of Our Lives call time the exact same, and we called, and said, and it felt completely like it was meant to be.
Has Hank watched you as Lucy on the nurses' ball?
Yes, but he
let him down and give him
hesitation because, they were babies here. So, with all of our kids, Christina's and everybody's kids. So they just see it as, oh, that's mom at work. It's nothing interesting. I do have to say, I showed them Lucy's promo of dancing to Lady Gaga's song.
Oh my God. I love that so much.
They were so appalled.
I loved it.
That was fun because they did actually get a kick out of it. They did enjoy that. So that was fun.
That was the best idea because she's trying to do it and she can't really do it. And I love that whole arc from the social, like putting that.
Good. I'm so
I
glad.
thought that was really, really perfect
They've
because
done-
like her trying to clump a lot, she doesn't know what to do, and then she does the Lady Gaga abracadabra, and I thought that was.
Oh,
really-
I'm glad. Jason will be very, because you know what happens too is it's hard. People forget that the Nurses Ball has so much history, but we want to make it new too. And I think this year they'll see a lot of the interactions and the numbers are really good and appropriate. They're going to get a kick out of it, I think.
And no explosions.
Not that I know of. I mean, it might have happened. I can't tell you.
You look back at this, it's so amazing from the mousy librarian to, the deceitful, whatever, to the manipulator, to this. What do you think about 62 years on this? You've remained a part of the show. They've kept you there. You mean so much to so many people. When they know Lucy is on and doing this, it feels comfort to them. And I just have to say, it's amazing. You're one of those people that we love to see.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry because, I feel the same way when we get to go to Graceland or go out and see people or people on, just come up to you and talk. This is what a gift I've been given. It's just the easiest thing to thank people and to be grateful for the life it's given me. So it's this mutual thing about I got to do this, but look what it gave me. I get so touched by it. It's hard to explain because it's something that I never dreamed would happen. And this life has been because of General Hospital.
Amazing. Well, everybody, you got to tune in May 20th.
I'm so excited and I appreciate your time. And also, Michael, that you love what we do and support us so much. It means a lot. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, everybody. Lynn Herring, Nurses Ball 2025, May 20th. Bye, Lynn. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.